And what came to mind was how far we've come since William Stafford was a conscientious objector and doing his service work in the CO camps. And so it occurred to me that maybe I could try to put things together. And so I've got a little suite I've created utilizing some of his work. It's called Neighbors 1942. And in 1942, William Stafford was in a conscientious objectors camp in Magnolia, Arkansas. And in 1942, when I was a little kid, I was across the state in Arkansas in Jerome Camp. And in 1942, a little ways over here, there was a teenage kid in segregated society, Martin Luther King. And so this is all in 1942, and as I said, I like to think we've come a ways since then. So this little mini suite consists of, I open with a excerpt from Down in My Heart, Stafford's reflections on his CO days, and then I mingle in some quotes from his book of early poems, Another World Instead, his poems written in Magnolia Camp. And to that, I utilize some poems from this book called May Sky, There Is Always Tomorrow, an anthology of Japanese-American concentration camp haiku, compiled, translated by Violet Cazuela de Cristoforo. Neighbors, 1942, from Down in My Heart. Our project superintendent had warned us against saying Mr. and Mrs. to Negroes, but we continued to use the terms. And one stormy night, when no doctors would come out, some of the men in camp had given first aid to a Negro woman whose husband had led them through the dark woods to the cabin where the woman lay screaming. Thus, we had become friends with some of our neighbors. This is a woman named Seyoshi Kume. 黒人と手真似話、そこら読書しげり. While speaking to a Negro with hand gestures, I noticed poisonous plants growing all around. From Stafford's poem, Buzzards Over Arkansas. The sun goes down. The fur sound of winter stifles the hurt mind. This is a gentleman called Ryona Niguchi. Toku inabikari suru yama ni ukabi deru mori. A distant lightning flash illuminates the dark forest. From Stafford's poem, Their Voices Were Stilled. We do not speak now, lest we be misunderstood. A gentleman named Tokuji Hirai. Kisha no oto kikoyu, nagaki yoru o samete ori. Hearing the sound of a train in the distance, I am awake this endless night. From Stafford's poem, Exile. Increase the time of gaze as time goes by, and hate grows strong, and light grows dim, and cities burn and die. That's Neighbors, 1942.